Okay, you're looking at Lara Trump, Politico dynamo. I mean, she's really good at this stuff. She happens to be the daughter-in-law of the 45th president of the United States, married to Donald Trump's son, Eric. Lara Trump joins us once again. She's got a great show, The Right View podcast, available online at therightview.com. Lara Trump, welcome back to Newsmax. How are you?
Well, thank you, Greg. Great to be back with you. I'll take all the compliments. Keep them coming. We could just do this for the whole interview. That's fine.
Well, you know, it's true. You've got real talent when it comes to politics, and a lot of people want to see you in the U.S. Senate. Well, let's just skip to it. What is up with you in running for the Senate? I know you thought about it in North Carolina. That was public. What about next time? When is the next time? What are you looking at?
Well, you know what? To be honest, I'm focused on 2024 right now and helping get my father-in-law elected as our not just 45th, but 47th president of the United States. Because quite frankly, I don't think we have any other options at this point, Greg. It's a dire situation for America to get him back in office. And then I'll consider what I'm going to do. Yeah, I was considering very seriously running for Senate in my home state of North Carolina. I did not pursue that. Basically because I think my kids needed me to be here with them as their mom, and my kids are young, they're 3 and 5. So maybe when they're slightly older, you never know what could happen. We'll see. But right now we're focused on 24 and making sure that Donald Trump is our 47th president.
All right, and by the way, it's looking good so far for for President Trump being president again. Look at this poll, full screen one, please. 30 points over Ron DeSantis, 50 points over Nikki Haley. But let's face it, there's a lot of buzz about Ron DeSantis right now. Does that bother you? I don't fault President Trump. It seems to bother him sometimes. What do you make of DeSantis right now and this talk?
Well, look, he was just reelected as the governor of my state, the state of Florida, where I am right now. And he committed to being governor for us for another 4 years. So I sure as heck would like to see him continue down that path and remain the governor here. But when you actually look at any head-to-head matchup with Donald Trump and any potential candidate running in 2024, any possible opponent, Donald Trump is getting over 50% of the vote. So if you bring in Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, anyone else who might want to jump in this race, Greg, they're likely going to split the other portion of that vote. And it actually makes it, I think, a little bit easier for Donald Trump. So everybody's welcome to join in the race and come on in. I think we can all think back to 2016 and remember there were 17 candidates and Donald Trump running for that Republican nomination. People said he had no shot, but it turned out the more the merrier, and it really was for him in 2016. So he's not, I don't think, afraid of anyone or anything, and I think it actually may help him to get more people in this race. So we're ready for all of it.
Understood. Famously, he would not commit to supporting the ultimate Republican nominee because he didn't know who that was going to be. And maybe he would support that person, maybe he wouldn't. It looks like the party is looking for a pledge. Not only a pledge, it's a mandate. You got to say you support the nominee or else you can't be in the debates. What's the latest on that? Is he prepared to sign one of those pledges, or is he going to treat it like last time? And I think they got him to sign a pledge at the last minute. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that whole dynamic?
Wow. Well, if I knew what Donald Trump was going to do at all times, Greg, I mean, I'd be a very rich woman. I can make a lot of bets on things. But look, I think ultimately he has changed this party, the Republican Party. He is the leader of this party. You know, he's kind of changed the way we conduct elections and we run campaigns at this point. So Donald Trump really is the leader in this space. That said, I think he wants to see our party move forward. I know he wants to see America move forward and Americans prosper and this country get back on track. And we know we can't do that with the Democrats in charge of America. They've proven that very quickly. Sadly, in the 2 years that they've had the power, we see how quickly America has disintegrated at this point. So I think his goal is to bring America back, and I think he knows he's the person to do that. But I think he's supportive of anyone who could accomplish that task for the country.
CPAC is this week. Actually, it starts tomorrow. You're going to speak. President Trump is going to speak. And CPAC has always been, well, very good to President Trump. And he's been good to CPAC. Here are some highlights over the years. Do me a favor, hit cut 3.
It's such an honor to be here at CPAC. We've done this before. The response has been so great. Great to be back at CPAC. And people say, are you sure he's a conservative? I think now we've proved that I'm a conservative. Right? I came back for a second one, then a third, then I said, what the hell, let's run for president, right? I'm thrilled to be back at CPAC with the thousands of proud American patriots who love our country, respect our flag, honor our history. We will secure our borders. We will stop left-wing cancel culture. We will restore free speech and fair elections. And we will make America great again.
And maybe one more moment when he hugs the flag. That might have been my favorite. I think that was in 2019. It was only President Trump. I think we have that cut. Yeah, there we go. He's kind of giving it a hug off there in the distance. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, listen. I support President Trump. I love him. I love the style. I love the substance. Do you think there's anything he should change? Is he thinking about changing anything? I mean, look, we all learn. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from what we did well. Do you anticipate he's going to have a different approach? Maybe it's already happened, but is there anything you'd like to see different from this election cycle from President Trump as he runs for the big job?
Well, look, I think that the big difference, at least right now from 2016, is he has a record to run on. So he's not just a businessman, making promises about things he's going to do. He actually delivered on so much of that when he was president. So I'd like to see him hearken back to all of the big accomplishments because, Greg, gosh, there were so many, and most of it never got covered by the mainstream media. I know that's a shock to people, and of course I say that, very facetiously. They covered very little of what he did, but I think we all felt it as Americans, and I think it's a great time to remind people of that record, what he accomplished, and how great America really was while he was president of the United States. Man, things have felt pretty bad for people as of late, and I think they're looking for hope. I think they're looking for inspiration, and I think they're looking for somebody who can roll up their sleeves, get in there, and get the job done. So my advice to him is always talk about what he's done and how he's going to get us back there. That's the greatest advice I could give. But you know what? He is a unique person. Oftentimes people question the things that he's done, and they question it in the moment, and then they look back and they say, man, Donald Trump was right about the way he approached that, the way he did that. So the best advice I could give him is talk about what he's done and how he's going to do it again.
So thank you for your assistance. I know you're rooting for Newsmax and our little
yes.
difficulties we're having with AT&T and DirecTV. You've been supportive on your platforms, and we thank you for that. And I hope it doesn't happen to you. What happened to us?
Oh, well, they've tried. I mean, an interview I did with my father-in-law about a year ago, they took off of all the social media outlets and, Facebook, the first one, and then, of course, YouTube. So, you never know these days, Greg. It's really frightening to be a conservative, but I think we all have to continue to speak up and speak out, make our voices heard. And quite frankly, it's why we need a conservative back in the White House, someone who's going to stand up for our freedoms, our First Amendment freedom of speech, because it does feel like, and there's evidence of it happening to Newsmax and OAN, that we are being silenced at every possible turn. So yes, I'm supportive, and let's continue to take this fight to the man, as they say.